Hey everyone, I finally made it to the End the Lockdown freedom protest here at Queen's Park.
Four primary groups here.
Vladislav is speaking. I'm gonna just flip over the screen.
Group. Let's hear for Back to Work group. We have anti-vaccination group here. Let's hear for that group. We have group that's represented gun rights. Let's hear for the gun rights. Okay. And we have a group that's representing back to normal life, right?
That's all of us. That's all of us.
We're gonna have a new group. The website dedicated to the new group is fearlessontario.ca. Fearlessontario.ca is specifically to end the emergency order that must end immediately and restore our democracy in this province. And it's going to be a foundation for all the provinces around the whole country. Okay? So fearlessontario.ca is a website. There's a petition. You can sign up to end the emergency order. All the groups are represented. All the groups are independent and diverse, and that's our strength. Please remember, diversity is our strength.
Right on!
Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the speak on the bullhorns from the monument like we've been doing so far. Remember, every Saturday we're here. We have a kids section, making sure the kids can play and have a normal life, and that's how we're going to create civil disobedience. The shirts, hugs over masks are important because it's all about that. We'll have some flyers printed up to make sure that people can deny it properly. And you want to speak on? And I'm going to give Kelly to end up the session here, and then we're going to move on to the monument to continue.
Thank you, Vlad. Thank you very, very much. And thank you to everybody showing up here. This movement is not a partisan movement. This is a democratic movement.
Right on!
We're going to stand together as Canadians, as one,
Yes.
and defend our right, our individual rights, our liberties, our children's future. That's what this is about. So we're guys, I would love to have you, but we did make a deal with these fine gentlemen and women. So we're going to move now back onto the land, and everybody else is going to say what they have to say with their megaphones. So if you guys can make way so everybody could properly cross, that'd be great. And thank you all once again.
Woo! Yeah, guys, I got here a bit late, so I missed some of the speeches. Hello, nice to see you, beautiful.
You too.
Oh! Hey! Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah. I love all my people.
We definitely need hugs.
Beautiful.
Hug a stranger, that's what it's doing.
Exactly, right?
Care for a hug?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so nice to see, right?
I know. We've been missing this. We're missing the human touch. Hi.
The problem is that next week they're going to gather even more people because they have the mainstream media support. Then they're going to come at 2 o'clock. Then they're going to come at 1 o'clock. And then our protest is going to spin it. In whatever way that's what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is they're trying to replace our protest with anti-racism protest.
Oh. Yeah. Totally false flag. Yeah. May get this. Yeah.
I could show you a picture of the Attorney General of Minnesota holding the Antifa hat.
Wow. Wow. The Minnesota was definitely a false flag, brother. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so what people are saying, like we're seeing less people here than in the previous weeks because as one of you actually told me this morning, there is a Black Lives Matters protest that is happening somewhere else in the city, and they're going to start having those protests to coincide with ours. And as many of us have found out, the Minnesota event, guys, most likely was a false flag. There are some of the usual actors involved. I look like hell this morning, guys. I didn't get enough sleep last night.
Want to take a picture?
Oh, interesting. I'm doing a live stream right now, but I'm gonna take a shot of that. Thank you. Look what the people are saying. I also have to wonder about that, you know. It was like, what was that? What was that all about? And how come none of us knew about it, you know?
Well, it was a photo op.
A scoop chicken suckle at the tyranny state treat the powers that be on these say coup d'etat, useless eaters, useful idiots are coming for you. Yeah, I know. That's what's happening. Yeah. The new normal is state terrorism. Oh my God. How powerful and how true is that? I'm so sorry. Yeah. We need more people to wake up and to actually come here. This is the real protest, guys. This is where the freedom fighters are at. Do not fall for their false flags that they're trying to institute on us. Hi, good thanks. How are you? He's running around, probably playing with the other kids. I love that sign. I love that sign. That's exactly what I was saying yesterday in my little message, guys. I love this. Not afraid. Thank you for being here, sister. I'm doing a live stream on Facebook right now. Do you have a few words to say as to why you're here?
I just want to be a support to my mom, fellow Canadians, and I just want to be fighting for my rights and the ones of my little girl. She's 6 years old. And
My son is 5 too.
to live in a world where she can express herself and she cannot be physically.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sweden is thriving with no lockdown. That's right. That's right. Yeah, this gentleman was here in the past. Look at that beautiful sign. Stay home, poor, unarmed. Trust me, really. Sir, I've seen you here before. I'm doing a live stream on Facebook. Do you have a few words to say for the people watching?
Of course, I'm Bill Macgregor. Hello, what's your name?
Letitia Montana. Nice to
Letitia?
yeah. Yeah, I love your sign. Tell us what brought you here
Another one around
today.
here. You see it? It's over there with the pictures of the people in jail. It's right
Oh,
in front of the Canadians.
oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna go there and have a look. Yeah. So, do you have a few words to say as to why you're here today? This is
Well,
my son.
I kind of love my country. As a Canadian citizen, I'm obviously angered at the lack of justice on things that really matter. I know the basic idea with this protest is the gun control problem and also the COVID lockdowns. Those are the two reasons that I think people are here. But I think deeper than that is the lack of justice, because most of the leaders that we are protesting against are in a blackmail ring with people like Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, of course, wherever he is.
Yeah,
They control the narratives because they're all blackmail, right? So until we deal with that serious crime of the century, you're probably not going to get any solutions on anything else, because these people need to be in jail for child sex trafficking and horrible things that are making them do the things that they do, because they're on a short string of blackmail.
Yeah.
That's what I believe is the problem.
I know anybody who digs deeper, it's unavoidable they're going to come across just the great evil that takes place at the highest levels of our society, unfortunately. The people that we deem our leaders, our elected leaders, are very corrupt. Very corrupt.
And there was a precursor to the Lord Jesus Christ was John the Baptist. And what he said in his sermon was, he said the axe is laid at the root of the tree, not at the branches.
Very interesting.
So the root of the tree, to some extent, is this problem here.
Right.
That's the root of all the other problems, pretty much in our country. As
Well,
far as,
Satanism at the
of course,
highest level.
There
Yeah.
are lower roots, of course.
Ah,
I think
yeah.
the bite-sized root is this one. As far as the problem.
Thank you. Thanks for being here and taking a stand, sir. Thank you. Likewise.
My channel is there. If you want it.
Oh yeah, I just created. Is it the tuning fork or?
I wasn't even tanning.
Is it called? Okay, Bill Macgregor. Okay, awesome, beautiful. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see. I know they're gonna plan some. They're gonna have some planned speeches, guys. But I want to see if I can talk to a few more people that have come here. Reopen churches. People want their churches to be open, of course. Yeah, I know. I also care about that. I definitely do not want that in my body or my son's body, man. That's for sure. Church is essential. That's right. Yeah. God bless Canada. The new normal is not my normal. That's right. Not mine either. Government has to resign. Oh my God. I wish they could go that easily, believe me. But I think it may take more than. They're not going to go without a fight. That's my concern, We need to put way more pressure on them, and too many people have been sitting still, and right now they're creating these false flag attacks, false flag events to try to divide and conquer. You know, we would have more people here today, but some people are very incensed about certain events that happen in our city and in Minnesota, as we all know. And there's another, hi, beautiful. Oh, enough of this stupidity. Oh man, I couldn't. Shelly's a great patriot, guys. Nice to see you. Oh, hello, nice to see you. So, oh, can I see your beautiful sign? Love is greater than hate. Freedom over big government. Together over, I would say, not diversity, but division, you know? Togetherness versus division. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Thank you. Wording. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. How good is this sign, guys? Look at that.
Put all those things, they put it in articles that are actually take with my picture and name, and then they put these criminal charges.
So they're being killed at the exact same rate.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry to hear that. That's horrible.
Jessica and Helen are helping you fill in petitions to turn your rights for people. Mandatory vaccinations. That tool.
I'm gonna walk around a bit more, guys.
They called us
Sorry,
in here.
Bonita.
What's a semi?
Hello, nice to see you again. This gentleman was here last week with his beautiful sign, say no to communism. Look at that. And yeah, why do coincidences happen? The WHO characterized COVID-19 as a pandemic. Trump declared national emergency literally like the next day. That's right, Gates resigned the next day. And yeah, sure, supposedly our premier's wife got tested positive for COVID. We all doubt that story. Look at that, I love that. Not an emergency. Well, a lot of us are immigrants from former communist countries. Oh, sorry.
So are we.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot of us.
You know what? There were about 700 people here last week. There were more people the week before. I think what's happening is, the divide and conquer strategy. Right now, somebody told me that there's a protest, the Black Lives Matters protest.
That girl.
Coinciding with ours, and it is revolting, but I think it was a false flag event, just like the Minnesota thing. After 3 o'clock. No who? Hugs over masks. Somebody created those t-shirts. Look how awesome. Hi, nice to see you. I love this. I love these people's signs. Yeah. I think there would be more if it wasn't for the. Okay.
And then we'll be going east on Harvard and across.
Well, there's the Black Lives Matters protest happening at the same time because of that suspicious incident that happened. Not just the Minnesota one, but in Toronto, like a young black woman supposedly fell off a balcony while 8 police officers were in her unit. So a lot of people are calling foul on that, but I mean, I can't help thinking like this is another false flag, meant to divide and conquer.
And we've been made aware of, and hopefully be afraid of, the whole issue with what's been going on with our good friend who passed away the other day named George.
Oh, sorry
Is that
his
Black
friend
Lives
passed
Matter
away.
and Antifa are holding different ceremonies today or gatherings.
Yeah.
And I want to reassure you all that we are going to keep the love of what this gathering is all about, number one.
Definitely, psyop.
That Black lives do matter.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
They do.
And disparagingly, they've had some issues with the cops and with the system and stuff that are a little bit disparaging, but we're going to work with that in the future. However, today, all the groups here are represented, and it doesn't matter right now what those guys say. It's all about one group, one hive, one mind here for a collective. Do you guys all understand that, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, by the way, when I say aho,
Hi.
you've probably heard me say that a couple of times.
Yeah, this gentleman has been here before. That curve keeps going up, it's not going down because...
Project, and we say aho
Yes.
when we really want you to pay attention to what we're saying.
Yeah.
It's an acronym for authentic, honest, and open.
Nice.
All right, so when
Woohoo!
I say aho!
Oh my god, look at the
Authentic, honest, and
chemtrails.
open. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, they're back at it with the chemtrails, guys. Look at that. Right over our heads. I wonder what they're spraying.
Oh my goodness, did I say that?
Still a good crowd here today, guys. Not as much as the past couple of weeks. And again, I think part of it is I actually had somebody message me saying that they were afraid to come out because they heard the BLM protest was happening at the same time, and that they were afraid that there could be violence because the Antifa group in particular is known to instigate violence, and it's a George Soros sponsored group.
As one of the organizers of these wonderful gatherings, at the beginning, I was so nervous up here, which I still am, but I forgot completely to acknowledge our Indigenous brothers and sisters through a proper land acknowledgement. So I will do that now. And this is in memory of my good friend Opak, my Indigenous elder. Woo! Who lost his life recently just down here at one of these hospitals for complications during a surgery.
Yeah, I know that
Somewhat because
gentleman.
of this COVID stuff going on. So please join me in lending me your ears and hearts for the land acknowledgement of Toronto. I worked on this rough, updated version with OPUC to be able to launch this mission, a future living in direct opposition to Agenda 21.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. I know, bro. I'm having a hard time here.
True North Patriots right here.
Actually, you won't get things. Switch to the bigger. It's so nice to have good help from my friends. Can the Beatles do a song about that? All right. So, the land we are standing on here today is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Chaliawa, the Petun, the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabeg, the Mississaugas of the New Credit peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. I also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the New Credit, the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Also, I wish to add that the Canadian public, we will contact the Senate, in addition to the other challenges that we're facing today, to reissue on the order paper C-262. The intent is to raise the UN Declarations of Right of Indigenous People, comparative to the Canadian laws setting forth a process and procedure, introducing a free and unencumbered sovereignty for the First Nations of Canada. Aho! May we all live together as stewards on this great land as one people under creation. Aho Mitakwiasan! After 5 gatherings here at Queen's Park, we are finally drawing the line against opposition and drawing a line of protection around all the groups here today in case the MSN platforms go down. I want to thank everyone here that's supporting the line, resistance and freedom movement. I see everyone has the line symbol here on their posts, on their posters, and I see a few flags. You all should know and realize that you are all part of a Canadian-wide movement of empowerment. We will soon be giving out free stuff so that you can freely promote your stand on the line My name is Lamont, and I am one of the founders of the Line movement. And I want to say that with all the hearts of the organizers across Canada, how proud I am of everyone. You have now become my family. Aho. Aho. I am here far and wide for Canada and the rest of the world because, quite frankly, Toronto is, after the first New York, the next metropolitan gold standard of the way the world is supposed to be as a culture of people who love each other regardless of their culture.
Yes.
No. We see how we all finally united. And when we're finally united, we are unstoppable. Enough is enough!
Yeah, enough is enough.
Enough is enough!
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough!
Enough is enough.
You are the one to draw the line.
That's right.
No one will cross that line.
Lamont is mad.
Freedom!
For a good reason.
Freedom!
Freedom!
Freedom! Like Freddie Mercury said, freedom!
Freedom!
And look, they've given us a line for us. A line of beautiful chemicals of the sky for
Yeah,
us.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for those lines.
No,
Now-
thank you.
Another word, actually two more little words. Two more little words. Just two. I want to remind you that I've forgotten completely what I was going to say. Just
Oh, I
kidding.
love that sign. If you're not
The thing that I wanted to
outraged,
say
you're
is
not
this.
paying attention.
If ever I get too nervous up here, or I forget what the hell I'm talking about, like a comedian or a show and stuff, I'm so goddamn nervous up here, guys, I can't even tell you. If I break into a crazy accent, if I break into a country accent, if I break into an Indian accent, Japanese, black, any kind of accent, like any other comedian actor out there, I'm gonna have some fun because I fucking love you. Okay? Absolutely.
Not afraid. I love it. I love it, guys. Thanks for being here. I love it.
I just want to say one thing. I haven't talked about what
I gotta ask you where you got those signs from.
But I'm telling you right now, we have issues with water,
friend of yours?
correct? Anybody believe in that?
Yeah.
This
Beautiful.
is Bob Barlow's book. Whose water is it anyway? And I don't see any Council of Canadians here yet. Does anybody know any Council of Canadians? Anybody?
I don't know what
No,
that is.
I didn't think so. And I donate to those guys thinking that they're looking out for my interests. So if anybody knows a Council of the Canadian person, can you please let them know we might like to see them out here to be with us?
That'd be nice.
Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our good friend here. What is your name, my friend? Mike, come on up here. Mike is one of the teachers here in Ontario that recently has had a similar experience as the rest of us. He'd like to say a couple of words. Give your hands up for some freedom for Mike! Oh, I guess I didn't introduce myself properly. So, my name is Lamont Daigle. Number one, I am the representative for Toronto for the celebration of freedom and rights, and I am one of the leaders of the Line Canada. Aho!
Aho! Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. First, I'll make it clear that I don't represent any groups here. I'm just here as a guy.
Yeah.
And I just want to share what I think a lot of us possibly are thinking and feeling. My name is Mike, which you had said, but... Louder! My name is Mike. Good. Although who I am doesn't really matter. What matters is what I am, because that's what brought me here today. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a brother, a friend. I'm a son. I'm a grandson. I'm an uncle, I'm a teacher. I'm a student. We're always learning.
That's right.
That's why I'll never stand up here and try to say that I know everything, but I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm a worker. I believe in a creator. I'm a Canadian. I'm a human being.
Do you want to read the letter?
And I'm angry.
Randy Healer?
I am outraged at the
read it.
federal,
I just want somebody to
provincial,
read this letter.
and municipal governments
Would you be
negligent lockdown at the expense of the economy and the
Randy
very
Hill is an
things
MP.
that make Canada, Canada.
Well, he's
Democracy,
for end of the emergency.
capitalism, freedom. There's a reason why we have a Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
I won't have women there. Like,
Absolutely, I know. I'm happy.
I'm angry at a lockdown based on shoddy scientific models and government-sponsored statistical fraud
I can introduce
at the
you to
behest
read
of
it, then you can
unelected
share some
international institutions.
I love it. Thank you.
Institutions like the World Health Organization, United Nations, unelected international institutions that are controlled by a handful of wealthy elite psychopaths hell-bent on unilaterally imposing their own globalist ideological vision of the future at the expense of our innate, God-given human rights and freedoms and our God-given right to live.
The new normal.
If this was truly
I love
about
that.
safety, the moment the data showed the death rate is equivalent to a bad flu season, the lockdown should have ended right then.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It didn't. It was transformed into a new attitude,
And
a
those
new
guys
message.
behind
It was transformed into a cultural shift of the new normal,
Love your sign.
with children isolated in circles at school drawn out on the pavement. Meanwhile, our leaders are holding up the old normal.
We should all be outraged about that. The
Do
social
you know how
isolation.
trainers keep elephants from running away from that little piece of string? When they're babies, they get huge chain link chains. And once they give up trying to break it, they switch to a little thin rope. That's what they're doing to our children. If our children are living in circles, they don't believe that they can do anything beyond that. This is what they're doing.
Give it to Sarah so she can continue.
Sure, sounds great.
History is wrought with tyrannical dictators and regimes seeking more and more power over the people.
That's right.
From Stalin to Mussolini, from the Pharaoh in the Bible to Hitler.
That's right.
Fear, intimidation, and propaganda are the hallmarks of government power grabs and oppression.
Yeah.
However, these historical examples that are burned into our memory were limited to specific nations and geographic locations. Today, it is on a total global scale, crossing all borders.
Take your muzzle off and smell the tyranny.
Never
Look at
in the
that.
human history has there ever been such an attempt, such an orchestrated, deliberate attempt to overthrow and subjugate every man, woman, and children on the face of this planet. This is not a racist agenda. No.
That's right.
This is not a racist agenda.
That's right.
This is an anti-human agenda.
Woo! Great.
This is
Exactly.
an anti-human agenda. What's being done here is far more egregious and nefarious than the racist issue.
Yeah. They're destroying the lives of millions of people.
Our politicians have been either bribed, threatened, or even worse, in favor of these treasonous crimes against humanity, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
I elected politicians to represent me.
Yeah, that's not what's happening.
I didn't elect them to represent others who don't belong here.
That's right.
Unelected
That's right.
institutions. I'm sorry, that's
That's
just
right.
not why I voted for you.
That's right. Hear that? Ford and Turdo.
Make no mistake, this lockdown is the single greatest human rights, civil rights attack in the history of our species.
This man is
And
so
most
right.
people are still asleep to the tyranny that is unfolding before us.
Oh my God, I
For
want to
example,
cry right now.
And I have to
This man
say
is
some
so
very
right.
positive things here. Look at the police. whether they realize it or not, we're actually fighting for them and their children's futures too. And I know in my heart, just like we've seen in parts of Europe, eventually the police will stand down and support us because we're fighting for them too. Listen, let's be real, everybody. No parent wants their child to have their wings clipped.
No, that's right.
Every parent wants their children to have a future.
Yeah.
This is what this is about, people.
Oh.
And having a future for your children can only happen in a free and just
self-employed,
society.
but I can still work from home. My business hasn't been impacted as much as other people's businesses.
So yes, we really are all in this together.
But not in the way they're...
But I gotta tell you, I can't tell you how inspiring it is to see so many people here.
Woo!
To see so many informed people speaking up.
Yes!
There are so many of you with many valid and yet very different reasons. Right?
We can smell
many different reasons. We have 5G. We've got mandatory vaccinations, medical freedom, gun rights, ending the lockdown, right to work, right to open one's business, cures being suppressed. I mean, come on, we all know.
Of course, yeah.
Even if this was a real disease, there is a cure. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which should have ended it too. But the thing is,
That's right.
we're all probably experiencing when you talk to your loved ones and you try to enlighten them, just ears are turned off.
So sad. So sad. How can people stay passive?
Our uninformed friends and families are not going to unite under these banners due to unjust, because these are legitimate reasons, but unjust conspiracy theory branding.
That's right.
So that people won't listen.
That's right.
Indeed. Indeed it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is some very good news about these different issues, is that they all fall under one umbrella issue.
Freedom. Freedom.
And in fact, John F. Kennedy, I know he's American, not Canadian, but I gotta tell you, he said it best about 60 years ago, and I'm gonna quote him. Quote, "The same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God." This is all about freedom.
It is, yes.
This is all about government overreach and suppression of our God-given rights and freedoms at the hands of a few. An unelected few. Very important.
That's right. That's right.
This is what the majority of us, all our family members who are uninformed, can unite under.
Yeah.
This is what they can unite under. Because they're not fully aware of what's really happening, because a lot of us have gone down the rabbit hole and we're crystal clear on what's happening.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are not ready for that big dose of a red pill.
Yeah.
So we have to unite under what this issue is really about. Human rights.
Yeah.
This is the same issue that has united humankind since the dawn of time. Although under different labels, but I assure you, it's the same battle. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, liberal, conservative, Canadian, American, Russian, English, Indian, Chinese, Muslim, Hindu, Catholic, Buddhist, rich or poor. This is oppression on a planetary scale, but we have to focus on Canada because that's all we can do.
Well, we can actually
so this directly affects
more people
all.
on social media across the world. You'd be surprised.
I mean, really. If you give up living in order to live, then they've already won.
Woo! Wow,
many are afraid of the hardship. Many people are afraid of dying for a cause. That's why a lot of people are scared to speak up. But like I said, if we're afraid to live, and if we let this global unelected body rule us and take root.
Cartel, that's what they are. Yep.
Come on, if we're afraid to live, we're already dead. Oh, my fellow Canadians, the true North is no longer free. If we want to restore Canadian sovereignty and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, we have to take action in a productive way. And I know all of you want to do something, but many of you may be at home or after you leave today and you say, I'm just one person. What impact could I possibly have? I know. A lot of us can be scared, but fear can also be a very powerful motivator.
Mama, I'm gonna be going up there and speaking shortly, my love. So yeah.
You know, you may be thinking this, but I tell you, you can make a change in a very big way. A very big way, my friends.
That's right. All of
Here's
us
just
matter.
one.
All of us have a
If
voice.
every person here wrote 10 very short letters and sent them directly through Canada Post every Monday to the Prime Minister, to the Premier, to the political opposition leaders, they would end up having thousands of letters piled up on their doorstep. I mean, really, they could just have one or two statements just saying, hey, we know that you've purposely abandoned science. We know you've grossly inflated the severity of COVID-19, a threat at the behest of unelected institutions. And we will not surrender these rights for anybody.
That's right! Woo!
I mean, so think about that. This is technically like a mail protest. You can do this individually, but you're taking action.
Yeah, yeah.
It starts small and builds. So, I mean, think about it. They can manipulate online polls.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can manipulate the news. They can manipulate social media, but they can't stop the mail.
That's right.
They can't stop the mail. Could you imagine seeing how many people here? 600? 600 times 10, 6,000 letters piled up on your door. Oh boy, that's impactful.
I mean, this gentleman is
That's
suggesting
impactful.
something we
For
can
all
do.
we know, a lot of our elected leaders don't actually know how many of us are angry.
Oh my God!
I mean, we need to have English literacy in our country because these elected officials clearly don't read.
Yeah, yeah. Well, on social media, they're getting a lot of
I know I'm
backlash
talking long,
these
but
days.
I've got so much to say.
Oh man, keep going.
Another thing you can do. You could make, or maybe someone else could make a web page you can copy and print. I don't know, someone, because we can all do our part. You can make a one-page document informing people of what's really going on.
Yeah.
But focus on the umbrella issue.
Yeah. The Dollar
We want them to
Vigilante.
hear.
The Dollar Vigilante has a flyer, guys.
Keep it to the main issue, basic human rights and freedoms. God-given human rights and freedoms for those who believe in a creator like myself. Take that document, put it in the mailbox on every house on your street.
Yeah.
If everybody did this, the truth gets out, the message gets out, and it cannot be censored. I'm going to end this with an inspiring quote from Nelson Mandela. Because remember, people, we're all in this together. It's not black, white, English, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're all
This is a
being
human struggle that's been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So I end this with a great quote from Nelson Mandela. And this is what I believe is all of us are feeling. Quote, I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity.
Yeah.
It is an ideal I hope to live for and to achieve, but if need be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
Nelson Mandela quote, guys.
This lockdown is illegal and it is not backed by science. Case closed.
Oh my God.
This is a human rights issue and tyranny is at our doorstep. So, rise up, be steadfast, be fearless, take action, but make sure it's peaceful because we are not like them. And remember, if you're scared, remember what you're fighting for. Deep in your heart, you find it. I'm fighting for my loved ones. I'm fighting for my right to exist freely and independently. And if you believe in a creator, I mean, this applies to all of us. If you believe in a creator, trust that he is with you because we are fighting a just cause. Do this.
So true. So
Do
true.
this, and God willing, we will defeat the scourge on humanity. Thank you.